I want to continue the conversation there, and the threat of a Jewish community all over the world, and how Israelis also, they have bugbears and their fears about their security anywhere. I think they have the heightened security, because we've had even the former president of Iran, Ahmadinejad, saying that they need to be exterminated from the world. They're a scam. And this was the same sentiment actually that was put forth by Adolf Hitler as well. They said these people are a scam, they need to be exterminated, and then we had the final solution. What really happened in Pittsburgh, it's really, really, disturbing as far as this epoch of time is concerned, where we have people who still have those fault lines. You being a Jewish, are coming from a Jewish extract, that one really portends danger for you. So we don't know what the motive was on this, and of course there were red flags being raised on social media that were not really picked, that yes, even for that particular day that he went to have this particular rampage, he had announced that yes, the shooting will take place. Let's listen from Dr. Mustafa.
Yeah, Debarl, this was a very clear case of an act of terror. I'm surprised it's not called as such in the United States of America. I'm sure if Robert Bowers was a Mustafa or Hassan or Mohammed, immediately that would have just been called, terrorism. But this, first of all, we have to condemn this act, heinous, murderous act, terrorist act by Robert Bowers. It was very clear that this guy had posted, for some reasons Fox missed that, the fact that he said Jews are children of Satan, and then he went ahead and said that they trafficking immigrants into the United States. And then he said that Jews must be stopped and that we must stop the Jews. This is, I'm quoting him, but worry about Muslims. Clear anti-Semitic sentiments. I think this should have been picked up and he should have been monitored. This would not have happened. But it's very clear that extremism in Europe, and of course now taking shape in the United States of America, is something that is going to disturb the Western Hemisphere, not just by so-called Muslim extremists, but homegrown extremists in the colors of Robert Bowers.
Just to build on what Mustafa said, let's look at the backdrop against that gave birth to this story. It is happening against a situation where you have what we call white right-wing extremists, right, who, for lack of a better word, can be as extremist as he said in any society. And this is a growing phenomenon. The troubling issue is that this is now growing in the United States, especially more since 2016, when we saw this political rhetoric represented by the current regime. So it's a very dangerous. But it's not only confined to the United States. If you look at what has happened in Europe, the Brexit, it is part of it. Merkel is resigning because extremists are taking over. You saw what happened in Austria and the rest. Brazil. And why is this happening? It is happening because there is this identity, nationalism, that people are promoting. And the threat that external migrants pose to us, because they bring, they cause job losses, they bring crime. And this kind of hatred is being propagated by politicians. So it's a very dangerous situation. And I think we're going to see more of it, because politicians will always exploit an entry where they can gain votes. But all said and done, I don't think it has been, we should only look at this, what happened in Pittsburgh. It is related to what happened in Florida. It's related to what happened in Ohio. And why is all this happening? In fact, when it was happening to the blacks, nobody spoke. And it only reminds me what I read in a Jewish Holocaust Museum, which said that first, when they came for the socialists, I did not speak because I was not a socialist. When they came for the trade unions, I did not speak because I was not a trade unionist. Nobody spoke. And when they came for the the Jews, nobody spoke because I was not a Jew. And when they came for me, nobody spoke because nobody was there to speak. I think this is a time for us to speak, because this thing, it could be the blacks yesterday, the Jews today, but it's going to come to us.
Thank you. Hughton.
So just some statistics, which I think are kind of interesting. So since 2016, we have seen no less than 1,000 hate groups classified by the FBI emerge. 1,000 in the United States of America. There have been 7,000 incidents since that period. The percentage of racially motivated hate crimes have doubled in 2 years. Right? So this is the broader picture. So it's not an isolated case, obviously, and I think Ambassador said this. Until the administration clearly denounces white nationalists, hate groups, and politicians that demonize other communities in order to get favor among their own base, this will not go away. So I think one of the things we have to do as a country, as Kenyans, we know this because of our history as a formerly colonized people, that actually racial violence actually affects a country very directly. And I would really like to see our ambassadors, both in Washington and New York, begin to start speaking out on these issues. Now, this is probably the reason why I'm not a diplomat. This is why I'm not a diplomat and I work for a human rights organization. But I think if you think about this from the context of keeping everybody safe in the United States of America, it's about time, I think, the African Union or our national bilateral channels are used to actually challenge what is happening in the United States of America.
That's right.
Right.
Debarl, I am very familiar with this synagogue. I've been in that synagogue for meetings. That place is about an hour drive from my residence in Cleveland. I live within the Jewish community. And what is happening, Debarl, is the president rhetorics, the president leadership style has not helped at all. Because you see, the Jewish community and in this neighborhood are upper middle class. Pittsburgh is a working class town. A lot of people, factories that are either been closed and all that kind of stuff. And most of these people may be out of work. And then you're talking about China taking American jobs, and you're talking about Jewish people doing well. So the end result is this kind of human being is at the edge. And all you do is push him up a little bit, and he will act up. And so that is the cause. That's what's happening.
Right. Thank you very much. Kanenje?
I lived in Pittsburgh between 2004 and 2006. It is a beautiful town. It's a beautiful city. That synagogue was actually about 1.5 miles away from my place. And it's so sad to see that, something like this happened. But, Debarl, when you have a racist in chief as the commander in chief, that is likely to happen.